folks. Today we're talking about the number 2. So, if 1's masculine energy, the father, ignore the bright goose lamp. 2 is feminine energy, the sacred feminine, the mother. So 1's logic, 2's intuition. So 2 is wisdom. It is known as the all-knowing number. And this is where I like the intersection between academic mathematics and numerology. So, we'll pull up some info about 2 real quick. So 2 is essentially supposed to be able to sort of understand all things. And what's interesting in mathematics is you can write any number as the sum of powers of 2. This is like the basis of binary code. You can communicate all numbers in forms of repeating 1s and 0s, which stands for if a power of 2 is on or off. So for example, if you have 101, that's 5, because 2 to the 0 power is 1, so we have 1 there. We have a 0 in the place for 2 to the first power, and then 2 to the second power is 4. 1, 4 makes 5. 1, 0, 1. The first 1 standing for 2 to the 0, which is 1. The skipping over 2 to the 1, which is 2. And then 2 to the 2, which is 4. So, and all numbers can be written like this. So 7 would be 1, 1, 1, because that's 1, 2, 4. 9 would be 1, 0, 0, 1. That would be 1 and 8. Anyway, so 2 is all about intuition and all-knowingness. So what's great about 2 is 2s are very diplomatic. So 2s are natural peacemakers, where 1 wants to confront, 2 wants to compromise. So once again, that's the difference between masculine energy and feminine energy. Feminine energy is submissive. But in the submissiveness, there lies a resilience in feminine energy that is not within masculine energy. So 1 will stand up to anything and everything, but occasionally there will be things it tries to stand up against that will break it, and it takes the 1 a very long time to reconstitute. You can think of 1 as very rigid, whereas 2, you can think of the shape. It looks like it can bend and bounce. There's some buoyancy, there's some flexibility to it. And so you can imagine a weight on the 2, but the weight not breaking it, only bending it. Submitting, but not breaking. So you can think of childbirth as a sort of example. So number 2 comes immediately after number 1, which is both original and self-sufficient. Number 2, therefore, derives much of its meaning in contrast to it. Unlike number 1, which is the number of leadership, self-assertiveness, number 2 resonates with partnership, teamwork, and coexistence. So you can think of 1 is the self, 2 is the other. So this is where people will say that like women need validation more than men. All humans are social creatures, but there is a sort of greater need for social acceptance for beings that carry much more innate feminine energy. Women being an example as far as mankind, because man is male and female, and you can get into numerology of that. We'll do that later. But so 2 is feminine energy, so where the 1 needs to learn to sort of develop its sensitivity to balance its natural sort of aggressive, like courageous nature, the 2 has to learn sort of decisiveness and sort of not just bending and receiving everything. The 2 must be discriminatory, and you can get into things about sort of female sexuality. We're not going to go into that because that won't be kosher. But sort of feminine energy is naturally receptive, and because it's naturally receptive, it is very malleable and it can be led. So that's why those with heavy 2 have to let themselves not be so influenced. Like that's their nature, but they have to put it in perspective. They have to come to terms with their sort of natural, impressionable nature, and then become more discerning. So and the thing is, because of the 2's high intuition, it can be a very discerning number. But so that's the sort of drawback you get. Sort of being open to everything lets you be able to find the truth, but you have to sift through a whole bunch of lies. So when the 2 learns discernment, it becomes perhaps even better than the 8 at being a judge of character. So in the negative aspect, 2s can fall into gossip, petty whining, and being overly dramatic, and being sort of contrarians. But that's 2 feminine energy. It's very important. And so this is what 11 ends up being based off of. 11 is like the yin energy with the bit of yang energy in it, because it is 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2, but it's symbolized in the masculine 1, so it balances both. And when you look at the word balance, if you do the numerology there, balance is a 2 word. So once again, 2, all about balance. So it's a number of balance, it's a number of intuition, it's a number of wisdom. Wisdom is opposed to logic, knowing without knowing why you know. It's a number of feeling, emotion. It's the number of the divine feminine. So it's a 2-day for me. So that's why I'm doing this. Tomorrow will be a 3-day, so that should be a fun video. Man, my computer's super slow. But anyway, that's your video on 2. Don't want to belabor the point. Peace, much love, keep searching for truth.